over to this site, which I'll be linking in the description, and scroll down until you find option 2, it's this, and download the turn off file startup file. It's going to disable file startup, which is necessary to ensure simply open the file that's downloaded, right click it, just run as administrator, yes, and it will run as well. Now we go on to the next step. Next step is to download whatever Linux distribution you use. For example, Ubuntu system before, so just head over to the desktop overview, download Ubuntu, download it, go down and search for one of Alright, so after I've done this site, this will allow you to create instant USB drive save, order it's that, and you want to choose your USB device there. I don't have it plugged in right now, but choose your USB device there. Leave the partition default, file system default, probably should be on background system or external. Plus the size, you can have that at default, or otherwise have it on 4096 bytes. And then after that, you want to go down to here where it says create bootable disk using three dots, which is ISO image. Click this. Allows you to double click on it, and it will put it start and done. Alright, so after it's done, close, close, close. Setting the boot order and trying to get your computer to boot from the USB device. See, it's different for every motherboard, so it's usually a case of going into the BIOS and changing the boot order to boot from the USB drive, or the portable hard drive, or the root hard drive, or whatever it may be called. You can look up the model for your motherboard and often get a guide on the internet. So there, I can't show you because it's different motherboards, like I said. So simply what you want to do is reboot your computer and boot from the USB. I'll be back when I'm there. I've got the option to boot off the USB stick to prove by the screen, so try your best without installing and change the defects, definitely, or boot from the first hard disk. When you first screen, it's always good to check the disk for defects, make sure after that's done, it will say install Ubuntu alongside Windows 10, or erase disk and install Ubuntu with something else, which you can create and resize the partitions the way you like. For people who don't want to mess around with partitions anymore, you can just go to the install Ubuntu alongside Windows 10 option, which is the simplest option. But sometimes this option doesn't appear for some reason, so I'm going to go with something else option and show you how to do that. But if the install Ubuntu alongside does come up, just go with that. Right, so once we're here, we're going to see the release date which we freed up from this time earlier. We're going to go into the space and after the window comes up, you see the size, the type, the allocation, and the mount point. So first of all, we're going to set up some swap. So go to the Use As and then Swap area, and we're going to choose the size for this. Usually you want to have it at least the size of your amount of RAM, or more. So often it's recommended that you take the amount of RAM that you have in your computer, times it by 2 or 1.5, and then use that as the swap area. But we only have a very limited amount of RAM on this machine. So I'm just going to simply type in 3072, which is 3 gigabytes, which is the amount of RAM I have in this computer, and hit OK. After that's done, it will leave us with 7 gigs of free space when it hit the plus symbol again. And we can just set it to mount point root, which is this, which is just the /, and hit OK. And then after that's done, we can simply go ahead, click on the mount point, the root we just clicked on, and hit install now, and we will install it to there. Hit continue, and it will write the changes to the disk. Choose your location. I'm in the UK, so I'll just hit continue there. Choose your keyboard layout and language and all that. UK for me. And then here you can type in your name, computers like name on the network and all that. So I'm just going to type in Adam. We'll do the computer name as Adam Ubuntu, username Adam, password. It's only just a test machine. Choose your options there if you want to log in automatically or not, or if you want to encrypt your home folder, and press continue. And it will begin the install. You can click this little arrow next to copying files to see what's currently going on. So yeah, that's what you got to do. Just wait for it to install from here on. Alright, and after the install is complete, it will say install is complete. You need to restart the computer in order to choose the installation. Simply hit restart now, and I'll be back when it's done. Alright, so next time you boot up your computer, you'll be greeted with a grub menu, which will have the option for Ubuntu, advanced options, memory test, serial console, and Windows 10. From here, you can simply use the arrow keys and the enter button to select what one you want to use. You can go down to the bottom and select Windows 10 if you want to boot to Windows 10, go right to the top and select Ubuntu if you want to boot to Ubuntu. If you want to customize how this menu looks, you want to go into Ubuntu, and I'll show you how to customize the grub menu to make it look more interesting. Alright, so after you're in Ubuntu, you want to log in, so with your details when you just did the installation. Alright, so after you're at desktop, you'll